Councilman Garrick.
Here.
Councilwoman Sanchez. Councilwoman Sanchez is unable to be here this evening. Councilwoman Mazer.
Here.
Council President Accomando.
Here. Please rise for a salute of the flag and remain standing as we remember the lives lost on September 11th, and give a moment of silence in memory of Congressman Bill Pastrell.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all council members and to all legal newspapers. Sorry about that. In accordance with the provisions of Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law, 1975.
The public is hereby advised that any statements made during the meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook may not be privileged or protected, and that persons or entities who take issue with such comments or are offended by same may and have in the past sought legal redress through the courts. Any member of the public who addresses the council speaks for themselves and not for the council.
Mayor, you have a presentation now, or are you going to do that after? Do it after. After, okay. All right, at this time, I'd like to motion to open the meeting to the public.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is now open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak?
Good evening, everyone. Thomas Van Winkle, 128 Lincoln Avenue, Saddlebrook. I'm just here with my usual Mayor's Youth Group update. In August, the Mayor's Youth Group participated in the annual Mayor's Walk. It was the last Saturday of August, which was on August the 24th. And then afterwards, at that same day, they helped out with the township picnic. And let me tell you, they worked their tails off to help the people bring food and drinks to the people in attendance, particularly the seniors. So I really do want to thank them for all their hard work and all they did that day at the picnic. Looking ahead, we are going to have our next Mayor's Youth Group meeting on Saturday, September the 28th at 10:30 a.m. It'll be right here in this room, right here in the council chambers. So we do invite anybody in grades 4 through 12 and resides in Saddlebrook to join us for the Mayor's Youth Group. We've actually gotten a couple new people to sign up on our form recently, so we're looking forward to coming together and talking about all our upcoming events in town that we will be involved with, particularly all the Halloween activities. And once again, if anybody wants to register, we have our registration form on our website, sbmyg.weebly.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter/X, and Instagram. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak?
Good evening. Gene Shaheen, Saddlebrook. I lived in this town for over 25 years. Throughout those years, I noticed the decline in services, but not in my taxes. 2 weeks ago, we were here discussing the rat infestation. This problem was a big problem for the whole town. We were presented by a sales pitch to choose our pest control company to take care of this problem. I'll take it very personally to spend $32 million on a brand new municipal building, not addressing the issue or helping the residents. I believe that the leadership and the response for the rat infestation was too slow, too late, and there's no explanation why we have to come up from expenses from our pockets. Anyhow, thank you.
Good evening, Andrew Jedge, Saddlebrook. 2 weeks ago, there were dozens of residents here looking towards the council for an action plan, next step, criteria, deadlines, timelines, even a potential budget to fix this issue, which has now stretched 4, even 5 districts in town. One woman stated that it's never been like this in 48 years. Another man stated that he caught about 30 rats in a span of 4 or 5 days. And another woman was here and repeatedly stated that she spent thousands of dollars, and an additional homeowner said she's about to go in foreclosure with the amount of expenses she's had to personally expense for the issue. And the only solutions that were provided was to put garbage cans on the lids on garbage cans, clean up your curb, make sure the bags are properly stored, which is common information that can be found. So I really don't think spending 3 hours and wasting people's time on an issue that has been known for 12, 13, even 14 months, when they're continuing to call multiple departments, leaving voicemails and not getting any sort of responses or callbacks, is very disappointing. Our taxes continue to go through the roof. The services are just not being provided, and now we have a crisis in town where come March or April, you could have rats in every district, in every neighborhood, in every park, and by all the schools. I continue to hear the council state that they called the county, that this person stated something from the state, another county official they were trying to reach, and another state official. Additionally, that other towns have the same issues and that they're calling other towns, but I don't think the homeowners and residents wanted to speak to county officials or to state officials or to people from other towns. I think they came here as Saddlebrook residents seeking solutions from the Saddlebrook Council and didn't want to repeatedly be told that the county and state are not picking up the phone and don't have any solutions when you're here representing Saddlebrook, not other towns, not at the county level, not at the state level. And I found it absurd that the same political party at the town level is the same political party at the county level, is the same political party at the state level, where if you don't call a county or state official, they don't respond to you in 2 or 3 minutes, that it takes days or weeks to get a response. But when it's convenient for you to spend over $30 million without a referendum on a building, you do it right away. When it's convenient for you to hire people and pay them $300,000, you do it right away without any sort of communication or information.
Time's up, bud.
So when the next crisis in town happens, is there not going to be any
Time's up.
action
Your
taken?
time's up. We had enough of the lies. Time's up.
Okay. Have a good evening.
30 million, 300,000. Oh, God.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Kevin Hickey, resident of Saddlebrook. I understand Chief Kugler is receiving a plaque tonight. I just wanted to say a couple of things about him. I mean, 29 plus years as a chief, I thought he did a great job. And then I'd just like to remind everybody, like I guess I'm on film and stuff, that, he was charged with corruption, and obviously it never stuck. He was vindicated, he was exonerated, and he was looking forward to coming back and being reinstated, which I guess never happened. I'm not sure why. Reinstated to active officer in charge duties. I'm not sure why it never took place. And I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked that he's even leaving now. I don't know much about it. I haven't spoken to him about it. But, all that being said, I'm just wondering, did we ever even try to say, hey, can we reinstate him? Did we talk to the Attorney General's office and say, hey, we're the council of Saddlebrook. Why isn't Kugler being reinstated? He's obviously a well-liked man. I think everyone up here probably likes him or whatever. And just a little further, the judge that exonerated him was Judge Marilyn Clark. She was a Supreme Court judge, and, you know, when it comes from the Supreme Court, of course, he's innocent as could be. And not last but not least, like State Senator Joseph Crayon, which was a Democrat, interestingly enough, he said in a tweet, when is the AG's office going to show some integrity? And I found that was like very interesting. I read the whole article. Obviously, I'm not going to repeat it all. I write it down because I can't remember shit anymore. I'm sorry. Excuse the language. But it's interesting because they talk about when is the IG's office going to show integrity, where I felt Kugler showed integrity his entire career, you know? I mean, the whole family has been nothing but good for Saddlebrook. Hopefully, everybody agrees with me. I'm sure some won't, but once again, I just want to applaud Chief Kugler for his 29-plus years of service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dickey.
Through the chair, I can answer
Absolutely.
the question as to Chief Kugler not being able to return to active duty. The prosecutor's office, I think you may be aware, they took over the oversight of the police department, and the governing body has petitioned the prosecutor's office through my office, on multiple occasions to have him return to
I didn't
act.
know that, and I appreciate that.
No.
Bobby might have even told me that too, and I do
Yeah.
appreciate that.
No, I just want to answer your question, though. On multiple occasions, through my office, the governing body instructed me to petition the prosecutor's office to allow him to return to active duty, and they refused to do so. So it wasn't the decision of this guy. They agree with you. They wanted him to return to active duty,
I figured.
but we didn't have the authority, absent the prosecutor's office giving us the ability to do so.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's politics as always, right? Thank you.
Sylvia Zottarelli, 236 Lanza Ave. You're safe, Kev, and you'll know why now. I spoke to a couple of members up there. I'm not going to mention names. I got conflicting stories, so I don't want to call anyone a liar. Were you aware that our TV station is not working? This is going on 2 months now. You can watch these meetings on YouTube. I know a lot of people that don't even know how to find them on YouTube. So I've
Through the
heard
chair,
conflicting
through the chair.
stories, and I
They
just
are-
trying to.
It's working now. Did you
Is
check?
it?
Yes,
All
as of
right.
yesterday. We had it was a Verizon problem,
Okay, I'm
okay?
not blaming anyone. I'm just
telling you.
saying.
It was a Verizon problem, and they had to come, and it was, believe me, it took us a lot of time. Our IT guy spent much time.
Okay, thank you.
You know, it's difficult because Verizon is the big conglomeration. And we, well, you want to know the truth? I'm telling you. I'm telling you what
Bob, I was
happened.
married to somebody that works for Verizon. You don't have to
Right.
tell me about that
Well,
conglomeration.
okay, well, you know what, there's a lot of different divisions, and he worked very hard. I
I'm
applaud
not
him.
doubting that.
I applaud him for doing that.
I'm
Thank
not
you.
accusing anyone of anything. I just wanted to know when it would be fixed.
It's
Thank you,
fixed.
it's fixed.
It's fixed now.
Good evening. Omar Rodriguez, Council President, Mayor, shaking their hands, making mockery faces. It is true when we said that it's over $30 million on this municipal complex. I wonder if any of you, have you ever seen in your papers the final bill, how much this costs? You don't have it. None of you have it. I requested 7 months, and there is not a final number. So none of you got the right to say that we're wrong. It's over $30 million as far as I'm concerned, and until I don't see the papers, get me arrested like the last meeting. Get me arrested. On September 5th, when you see 2 hours and 41 minutes, why were you guys were laughing about me at the last meeting? That I was gonna be arrested? Shame on you. Last time I checked, Saddlebrook is part of the United States of America, not part of China or the Soviet Union. Let me talk.
No, what are you
Excuse
talking
me.
about?
Check the meeting. I don't know if you forgot that the camera was on when you guys were talking about me, that the mayor said it to you. You just gotta get the signal just to say for me to sit down, and if I wouldn't sit down, I was gonna be arrested.
I don't know what you're
Shame on
talking
you.
about.
Check it out. 2 hours and 41 seconds. Anyone at home can see it on YouTube. Go to 2 hours and 41 minutes. This is Saddlebrook.
Omar, who said you were going to be arrested?
Check, Mayor, check your words,
Tell
please.
me, so I don't have to check.
Mayor, you just mentioned to the council president, you handled well, you started smiling, and you said all you needed to say was for him to sit down, and then the police would take care of him. Please check yourself and mind your own words next time, because the camera, you might have thought that it's off, but it was on. So what I was trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is that we have solutions for the rats. We did the work, but unfortunately, they take everything political. I've been coming to the meetings for over 3-4 years, and usually I didn't come right here to the regular meetings, but I was coming to the work session. But at the work session, they let you talk all you want, but at the council meetings right here, they want to put a time limit. There is serious things about the rats, and I have solutions. But first, I just want to send a message to all of them. There are professionals in here, good professionals. When the council president just now, and he might deny it, you can see it on TV, that $300,000 for a business administrator, yes, we paid $300,000, and I gave them the paperwork, and I can give it again to them. For an entire year, we paid $300,000 for a business administrator, the highest pay in the state of New Jersey. And we are not Franklin Lakes or Alpine the last time that I checked the map. So let's be considered when the residents come right here. This is a public forum to express what is going on in town. In town, what we need to do about the rat infestation, if you allow me, Council President, Mr. Mayor. Right now, by this time, with so many months, we should have a rat map. Every time that the residents call the health department, they should pinpoint where the rats are. Second, do we have... Yes, sir.
Time's up.
Just, you guys were cutting me off. How can you consider 3 minutes when you were cutting me off?
Give them another minute. I did interrupt them.
All right.
1 minute.
Soviet Union and China are not far away from Saddlebrook, the way I'm seeing it right here. That's what on November 5th, we need to get rid of these people, incompetent people right here. So, what we need to do on the sewer lines, we can put in the inlets, we can put baits, we can put mixture with paraffin. It's being used in other towns and it's been successful. We also can use either grants or the town pay for garbage cans to every single resident in Saddlebrook. If we have been able to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and we're willing to pay $1 million for the medical benefits of a sitting councilman sitting here that he get reelected, he will get $1 million from here and his family. We should be able to get free garbage cans to all the residents in Saddlebrook. Another thing, the way we gotta limit the rat infestation, how come the county hasn't cleaned the park in so many years? The town should clean it, we should pass the bill on to the county.
All right, Omar.
I'll be back, sir.
Okay.
I'll be back.
You could come back.
Greetings. My name is Rich Caravaglia. I live at 16 Saddle River Court, Saddlebrook. First, we have a water crisis. Every time it used to rain, we flooded. Whether it rained 1 to 3 inches, the water would be over the curb. I want to thank you, Mayor, for coming out and addressing the sewers and cleaning up the sewers. And we wrote a letter, I don't know if it went to you or to the Parkway, but they put 3 sewers on the back on the Garden State Parkway, which has alleviated all the problems with the flooding. My question is, how do we lose the flood designation for all the homeowners that are paying $1,000 a year to have flood insurance? And I don't know how to get rid of it. I've asked my insurance company to help me. We didn't flood for 500 years when I first bought the place over there. And we flooded Floyd, which I think everybody flooded. But since you guys cleaned the sewers, and I appreciate it, we don't flood anymore. So please help me and the 12 other homeowners to get rid of the flood designation on the street. I don't know how to do it. Maybe you guys can write a letter to FEMA or the state to take the flood designation off, because it actually ruins the value of my house by at least $100,000, because I have to tell anybody who buys it, you know, it's a flood zone. So
We have a floodplain manager that we can ask them to reach out to FEMA.
yeah,
We
but
will
how could,
definitely
how
do
could
that.
we get that removed? How,
Well, that's why they would have to, the floodplain manager would have to.
would it take like 10 years, or is it something that's gonna take, you know, 10 years, I'll be dead?
I don't know that. I wish I knew that, but I don't.
All right, that's all I wanted to
But
say.
I know that that's the avenue to pursue.
Yeah, I can't stand paying an extra $1,000 a year like all the other homeowners. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I don't know if our engineer knows the answer to about getting the designation changed from a flood area. I don't. Okay. But through the chair, it does involve the map being changed. It's just a question of how often they come down, they are amenable to changing the map, and how long you have to go without an issue. It's really based upon the floodplain. So it's certainly something that I guess my office then will look into as well, to find out exactly what it takes to have an area that has been previously designated as a flood area and have that designation removed, as based upon what this gentleman stated, that, you know, they no longer have a water problem.
Through the chair. Like the mayor said, we do have a floodplain manager that we were able to save some people money on their flood insurance because of that, because there's certain requirements. So I'm going to ask if we can contact that floodplain manager, and if there's anything that she can do to help the residents in that area. And I know there's a couple of other, not only where Richie lives on the court, but along that same area that may be impacted by an old, maybe outdated floodplain map.
Anyone else?
Tommy Hayes, Floral Lane, Saddlebrook. I just wanted to let the council know, and the public, if you get to see this, we went last night to the Bergen County Commissioners meeting to bring up the topic of Bergen County Park System and try to get some answers as to what can be done, when something can be done. Before I tell you what they said, I'm very unhappy that over 200 people could come to the meeting and complain about everything, and only 4 of us went to the Bergen County meeting. I plastered it all over Facebook. I spent about 5 hours in the park building a nice little collage of pictures to present to the county board. Gave my 3-minute speech, and I was very surprised. Only 4 people would go to the county level when a lot of people felt like they weren't getting answers from you guys. So I don't know why more people didn't think to themselves, maybe we should go to the county level and express our concerns. So with that, they said that certain parks need a lot of work, and that our park, you guys have reported this for years. Steve Tonelli said it takes years to get the working done, which I don't understand that. He put it off as we have 9,000 acres of parks, so yours isn't the only park. But they saw what was going on, and I showed them how in the pictures the overgrowth is some areas up to 30 feet from the lake up to, where you're walking. You can't get down there. They've cut out maybe a dozen little 5-foot areas for people to go fishing, but I expressed to them, we like to have a blanket and lay it out under a shade tree and sit and look at the water. So they just assured me, Mayor, I think you said you had talked to another person, that I forget his name, and that he was going to do something about this. When I brought up, the rat situation, they said that could prioritize something being done about the brush down there. So all I want to ask you guys is to keep on them, because they did tell us after the meeting that it's good that people come to the meeting and express their, views so that it stays as a current topic. So I was glad we went, and I'm looking forward to seeing progress down there. If they told you they're going to do it, they didn't give me a timeline, but, I suggested to them with winter coming, it's a good time because there'll be no greenery. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes.
Steve Mariconda, 24 Harrison Avenue. I just want to make a request about an issue I've been pursuing about the light pollution. I was wondering if, there's some of the resources I provided for you guys, if that could be published, just some of the info could be published for town residents, either on the Facebook page or just the municipal website. That's it. Thank you, guys.
Motion to close the meeting to the public?
Omar Rodriguez, Satterbrook. Respectfully, Council President, I would like to ask you to show me a resolution where it says that it's just 3 minutes. 3 minutes is just to orderly have a meeting, but it doesn't say that you got a limit. I called the Division of Community Affairs in the state of New Jersey, Mr. Attorney. Can you please make an interpretation of the resolution? That 3 minutes is just for everybody else to speak up, but once they finish, I can go back and respectfully request in 3 minutes, I would like to speak about the rat infestation. Thank you. Council President, will you allow me?
Through the chair,
Yes.
that if you limit the public to, which is, by the way, a very common practice, to only getting up once during each time the meeting is open to the public, that's your prerogative. So you do not have to commit, because once you allow one person, you have to allow everybody else to get up a second time, which is why they limit the number of times somebody can get up, because you do have other business to conduct. And if someone wanted to, they could delay the meeting for hours by just having people getting up. And why not 3 times? Why not 4 times? So if the practice here, which as long as I've been here, is to limiting the person to getting up 1 time during each time it is open to the public, you would need a motion and a second to allow it otherwise.
If I may, Mr. Attorney, Council President, I'm not going to speak nothing until you allow me. When I called the New Jersey Division of Community Affairs, they say you are able to speak up twice per the state of New Jersey, not 3, no 4 times. Mr. Attorney, we are under the form of government, a strong mayor, we cancel, but this is a council meeting. It's not, you don't require, let me remind you that you don't require a first and a second. There is no motion. It is just the council president, when he instituted at the beginning of the year, every single resolution, they just carrying it over from prior years. At this moment, I'm not asking for anything out of the ordinary. Actually, it's just 3 minutes. Everybody else spoke up. No one else is at the podium. So I'm just respectfully requesting to speak another 3 minutes, and that will be it.
Well, again, through the chair, it is
Yes, sir.
absolutely inaccurate to say that the state statute allows the public to get up twice during one public session. It's absolutely untrue. In fact,
just to finish.
the public, you did finish.
Sure,
Now
I'm
it's-
sorry. I didn't mention statute. I didn't mention statute.
Well, that's what controls. The Open Public Meetings Act is a state statute, and that determines what the public can and can't do. For example, the public has the right to be present during meetings, and they have the right to make comments during the meetings, but in actuality, even though, again, it's common practice when the council or the governing body has information to respond to a question, there's not even a right to ask questions and demand answers, because the statute doesn't provide for that. It just provides that the public is allowed to be present and they're allowed to make comments. And in terms of the time, 3 minutes is a customary time that most municipalities limit the public to participate in, especially when you have a large group of people, because maybe many people want to speak. And as to the number of times they get up, it is extremely, in my over 30 years of experience, I've never seen a municipality allow it more than once during each public portion. So, for example, tonight, when there's a second reading on an ordinance, it gives you another opportunity to get up and address the council on the ordinance. And so to say that you can get up twice during any one
segment of the meeting is not accurate, it's not permitted, only if the governing body is going to allow it. And again, once they allow it for you, they have to allow it to everybody.
Will you be so kindly to show me the document, please?
I don't carry the statutes around, but
You can
I don't
ask
carry
yes
the
or no.
statutes with me, but again, I'll be
360,
happy.
1 minute, I can give it to you
asked
in
me a
1 minute.
question. Do you want me
It
to
doesn't say that.
Do you want me to
Sir,
answer?
I have it.
I'm just asking,
Well,
do
we
you want
gotta,
me
we
to answer
gotta,
the
we gotta
question?
finish this meeting.
Town clerk has it. Town clerk has it. You can read it. It doesn't say that it's a maximum of 3 minutes. I read it 3 times. That is the resolution. All I'm asking is 3 minutes, and I'm just going to concentrate on the rat infestation because it's hundreds and hundreds of people that are suffering because of this, and it's putting a lot of expenditures. And I believe that it's an easy solution to this. It's up to you, whether you want to pony up or just let the residents handle that on their own. I believe that the town, we should come as a community, and try to save those families out of this rat infestation. Could you allow me to at least give me 2 minutes, Council President, on this subject only?
Listen, I will give you 3 minutes, but let us finish this part or portion of the meeting. We have a presentation. If you want to come back, I'll give you the 3 minutes because you have a solution. If you have a solution that could help us alleviate the rat problem, I have no problem giving you 3 more minutes. But you can't come up here and yell, act all crazy, because you see how you just spoke?
You can call me all the names. How can
I'm
I
not
not be
calling-
upset when they censor me?
See,
You
I'm
check
not
the
calling-
video.
I'm not calling names.
The
I'm just
mayor on
asking you to
video.
just speak like we're having a conversation. It comes out clear. Did you see the video on YouTube?
In the TV.
On the whatever. I didn't watch it on TV. I watched it on YouTube. It was just, I couldn't
2
even
hours and
understand.
41 minutes. You can watch it.
I don't know what 2 hours and 41 minutes
Oh.
is, but you couldn't understand. It was just yelling, yelling, yelling. But when you speak like this, I could understand everything you're saying, and you come clear, and you speak.
So let me just finish 2 minutes.
Could we just get to the chief?
Sure. Chief. The net chair.
Chief, do you want to go now? Would you like to go now, or you want to wait? Whatever you want. I want you to be comfortable.
Thank you, Mayor. Honorable Mayor Robert White, Council President Todd Accomundo, and Township Council members, professional staff, equally important, the Township of Saddlebrook. I come here tonight, and under 3 minutes, it took me 40 years to say, I'm leaving. I can tell you that I've been blessed. I've been blessed being the police officer here in this community for 40 years. Community that I love, community that my father loved. Lifelong resident, born, raised, and will die in this town. Because we get a good deal at the end. But I can tell you that I'm blessed to have this current mayor and council, because what I went through in the last 3 years was unfortunate, but you stood up. You had my back. You called it out for what it was. And we're not here to dwell on that. We're here to dwell on the future of the Saddlebrook Police Department. Captain John Zotolo was in a room with many police officers here, and I don't want to take the credit from our mayor, who has yet to make that decision, but you're in good hands here. You're in good hands with the future of this department. We had great officers. After 40 years, it's a different landscape. You even got rats.
Yeah.
Not to make fun of the rats, it's an issue that this town is trying to help you with. I've been blessed, and I want to thank each and every member of the police department, both current and past. It's been a legacy that I inherited. I loved what I did, but it's time to move on. It's just time to move on. I've held the Ascension up for 30 years. Enough is enough. Chief, get out of the way. I'm blessed. I'm blessed, people. Not going anywhere. I will be here to commend the police department and also challenge the police department. Because like I said, it's a changing landscape. The reality is that the current force has only 4 officers with more than 12 years' experience. That was probably my fault for not recommending hiring
to get more officers that had time on, knowledge of the community. But these young officers know their job. They know what to do. The supervisors and commanders, I trust them. I know them. You hold them accountable, Mayor and Council. These police officers will serve to the best of their ability. I want to thank each and every resident for the trust given to me to be your police chief. And I hope that when I inherited the police department, when I inherited the police chief's job, I leave it equal or greater. And that's my goal. My goal has been completed. I will move on. I don't know where I'm going. I'm sorry I missed the beginning when my good friend Kevin Hickey gave a spiel about me, I think. He showed me some notes, I don't know. But did he say I was commended? That's what I wanted to hear, Kevin. I want to hear that I was commended.
The best chief, he said.
And whatever
he
he
said you were the best chief this town ever had.
That's the good stuff. Whatever he says about the high school days, don't believe it. Because,
If you give me another 3 minutes, I'll...
no shouting out from the audience, please, because the records don't exist anymore. But no, all joking aside, Mayor and Council, the most important thing I said was that in the last 3 years, you know what we went through. You had my back. You called out things for what they were. It was unfortunate, but we got through it. And on September 30th, my last day as a Saddlebrook Police Chief, actually the day before, I'll be on the Market Street Street Fair, so if anybody wants to come and say goodbye for a last handshake, photo op, please come, September 29th. But on October 1st, I joined the retired line of officers. Once again, thank you, Saddlebrook, for the opportunity to serve you. I hope I did to the best of my ability. And I hope to God that we continue. We are in tough times right now, nationally, globally. But Saddlebrook is always dear to my heart. And I know the Saddlebrook police officers that I leave behind will treat every citizen the way I did, will continue to serve to the best of their ability. And may God bless each and every one of us. Thank you very much.
I just want to congratulate my good friend, Chief Bob Kugler, and his family. And I want to thank you, Chief, for the 40 years of service, just about 40 years of service to the township. You know, I wanted to put a few words down, and of course, I probably have more than I should, but I always talk too much. But this is near and dear to me. The Chief and I are good friends, and we worked together for many years. And he's a great guy, besides being a great chief. But what I came up with was that, you know what, he's been chief for just about 30 years, and a lot has changed. You know, I remember, because I got hired before Bob did. I got hired in 1982 and Bob in 1985. But really, policing has changed a lot, and the chief led us through all that. So through his leadership, we really saw that he modernized the police department and elevated the status of our department. Chief, you put Saddlebrook on the map. He truly did. You know, no one knew much about Saddlebrook before you became chief in 1985. And that's the truth. That's true. I was here, I worked here. Even the council, you know, and the mayor and council, it was, you know, we were just another town. And really, you didn't hear too much about us. But he brought the police department into the modern era. Some of the things he did, he increased training and emphasized, this is very important, emphasized community-oriented policing. We didn't have that. Before he was chief, it was just, basically it was all about just enforcement. There wasn't much at all dealing with the public, other than when you had to. Either you made an arrest or if you got a call, but nothing else. So what he did was he implemented a lot of programs, and the programs he implemented were to build partnerships between the police and the community. crime prevention, Community Policing Bureau. He was the one who formed the Community Policing Bureau. Before he was chief, we didn't have that. And that was important because you had programs like Safety Town, National Night Out, DARE, which ended up turning into LEAD later on. Then the SRO program, the School Resource Officer. That was all implemented under Bob. And also, and now most recently, we have Special Law Enforcement Officer 3s in all the schools. And that was Bob's initiative, Bob and mine. I can take credit for that along with the council, but that was one of Bob's big initiatives to get the police officers in the schools. And believe me, the parents appreciate it, especially with all the violence going on in this country. So we got officers, and I say we, I like to take a little credit because I was his deputy chief, but we got officers from behind the wheel of the police car and implemented bicycle patrol, walking post, and we encouraged the officers to be one with the community. Bob also implemented, he started using problem-solving techniques to address public safety issues in a proactive manner. That was never done before. So one of the biggest things that he did was he enhanced public communications, developed a department website, Facebook page. And he said, oh, what's the big deal? He was I think we were the first one in Bergen County to have a website. So you were cutting edge. He was ahead of his time. So he invited reporters. This was never done, really, in Bergen County. Invited reporters to headquarters. Utilized the media to get information out. Never done before. He issued press releases and public safety announcements. Also, you ushered in Nixle, which is public alerts, and also reverse 911 notifications. That was all done. It seems like now we think, we take it for granted, but that never existed. You used our town's public access TV to do informative videos on a program you named Chiefs Chat. You would have different, also too, a big thing is, and I still hear about it from different law enforcement, how could anybody forget our DARE? We had our DARE videos. Lenny Azzarone, God rest his soul, he was a videographer, and he would shoot these videos. But these videos, I hear about it even from different law enforcement and from students that were there, and they still have the video. They play it once in a while. But I think it was 6th grade, and they graduated the DARE program. They all got the video. So during his 30 years as chief, he's also embraced diversity. The first women officers were hired. Lieutenant Rivero being the first female sergeant also. The first black officers were also employed, and Sergeant Littlejohn was the first to be promoted to a supervisory position. Chief, your priority has always been the residents of Saddlebrook, and you have given 100% to protecting and serving them. Your passion was helping people, and your door was always open to everyone, members of the public, organizations whose mission was to help people, and fellow officers. You were always fair and treated people with dignity and respect. Because of your friendly personality and willingness to listen, you developed friendships with quite a cast of characters, many still which keep in contact with myself and the chief. So Chief, I don't know if we'll ever be able to find someone with your drive and commitment. You're really an impossible act to follow. I wish you continued success, you and your family in your retirement and all your future endeavors. I have a plaque now. I'm going to read it, Chief. Presented to Police Chief Robert J. Kugler for 40 years of loyal and dedicated service to the Saddlebrook Police Department and to the residents of Saddlebrook. With great honor and recognition, thank you and congratulations on your retirement. Mayor Robert White and Township Council.
Hey, Chief, you want to take pictures with your family? Chief?
Yeah.
Do you want to take pictures with your family before we continue? Sure.
Congratulations, Chief.
Before we continue the meeting, anybody else would like to say anything to Chief before he steps out? Or anyone from the council?
Dave, you want to say something? No, wait.
Chief, if I'm allowed.
You want that for the council or for the public?
I would just like to take this opportunity to congratulate the chief, best wishes, chief. And I also want to recognize the three people in the room, I'm sure there's more, that never wavered in support for you. And that's your wife, Chris, your daughter, Shayna, and Kayla. They never wavered, you know that. And there's a lot of other people as well, but I have my wife and my daughter here. They always have our back. So congratulations and best of luck.
Chief, I too would like to take this opportunity to thank you for the many years of compassionate and dedicated service and leadership to our community. It certainly has been an honor and a privilege for me to serve with you for the past 24 years that I've sat up here. I can truly say that you have always had the safety and best interests of our township at heart. I wish you all the very best. Good luck in your future endeavors. May God bless you and your family always, and you surely will be missed. Thanks again, Chief.
Chief, again, thank you for your service, congratulations, and good luck in your retirement. It's going to be strange not having a Kugler in public office with your dad. When I came here, I definitely looked up to him as a mentor. We disagreed on a lot of things, but he certainly was a good role model to me and to the community, as you have been. So again, good luck in your retirement.
Well, Chief, I do also want to wish you the best in your future endeavors, great retirement. And I got to be careful what I say because, you know, people are watching. So but I look forward to hopefully one day working alongside you and see where that takes us. But yeah, I just wish you the best, your family the best, and enjoy it, because we're only here for a little while. I don't have to tell you, you've seen people come and go, but I just wish you all the best. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I don't normally speak when somebody's retiring, but in Chief Kugler's case, I remember, Chief, when you were hired. I was on the council at the time. I can't believe it's 40 years already. I had the privilege of serving with your father when he was mayor and as a council member. I've had the privilege of watching you become chief, working with you in various capacities. Wish you and your family nothing but the best. Congratulations.
I just want to thank the chief for all his years of service. I believe he was definitely one of the few people in town, morning, afternoon, evening, Sunday to Saturday. You could always get a hold of him. He'd always follow up. He'd always do the right thing, or he'd always find a solution to your situation. I hope and pray relatively soon that he won't be retired, that he'll have maybe a little bit more responsibility, hopefully not more stress, running 70 municipalities from Allendale to Wyckoff as Bergen County Sheriff. And I think it's a shame for someone who's always willing to be there, to serve, to be fit for duty, that he wasn't allowed to for 3 years because of corrupt politics and corrupt politicians. But I want to thank you again, and I hope and pray that the 70 municipalities from Allendale and Wyckoff will be able to have your service starting in January. Thank you.
Bob, I want to congratulate you and your family. I've known you for a lot of years, not 40, but I know you as a friendly police officer who's there for the people, and that's very important. And there's one thing you left out, Mayor. Bob is responsible for bringing the police officer for the day to Saddlebrook. He let my daughter with special needs become a police officer for a day. She cherishes that memory and that uniform forever. It means a lot to my family and anyone else that you've bestowed that honor to. So I want to thank you for that. I wish you good luck in your retirement, Bob.
Chief, I want to congratulate you as well. You weren't just a police chief, but a true community servant. Just every event you were there, just all your commendable service to protecting our town. I mean, there's not really too many more words I could say. I mean, it's hard to put into words. It's all you've done for our town. And I wish you all the best of luck going forward to you and your family. Thank you.
Chief, the best of luck on your retirement, but soon to be new job in January, hopefully. We go long ways. Decades ago, when I moved into Saddlebrook, one of the first families I met was the Kuglers. It's an icon in Saddlebrook. I ran for office, Latino. They were, you can count them with your hands at that time when I came to Saddlebrook. When I met Ed Kugler, he made me feel like family. And I was wishing to be adopted and change my last name. Needless to say, years later, I convinced him to run in a ticket with me. Then little by little, day by day, month to month, I start knowing the family. And Chief Kugler made us so proud throughout the years in Bergen County to the hard job that he put in dedication. Ed Kugler is basically one of the first mayors in Saddlebrook. Chief Kugler, one of the best chiefs. Chief Sotolo, you got big shoes to fill in, but I'm sure that you will do the job, and all the police department will do a great job. But now, Chief and all the family, the best of the best from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Don't let this youthful face fool you. I've been a longtime resident of Saddlebrook for 63 years. And one of the first people we came to meet was the Kugler family, especially the dad, Mr. Kugler. And from the beginning, we had a tight bond with the Nehe and the Kugler family throughout the many years. I was the oldest brother of 7, and Everybody knows the younger siblings, especially my brother Tommy. They had a clique together. Bobby was a part of that clique, I believe. But all I want to say is that with this passing of time, the landscape has changed, as Bob has mentioned. But I also see not only a friend, but a family friend moving on. So I'm here to say thank you. I just want to give everybody my heartfelt thanks that the Googler family has done well for the town. Bobby especially in his position. Hopefully he'll succeed for the next. And I just want everybody to know what you see is what you get with Bobby Googler. Thank you.
You gonna behave?
Omar Rodriguez, Satterbrook. First, I know I just have 3 minutes. I'm gonna try to be as quick as possible. We should institute a rat map. Every time the health department or the property department that is taking care of these calls, it should be pinpoint where actually they are moving around. Basically, right now, by my own personal knowledge and seeing this, I believe it's mostly in District 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know, they're moving a little bit into 10th. But if we got a rat map, at least we should pinpoint how to address it. How to address it? Maybe part of the problem, if we want to lead by example, is a big problem with the county park. I know you guys are trying to do your best. There is no response. Is there any possibility? So because the homeowners, if they don't see you cleaning, even though that is not you, the residents don't know who owns the park. It's county park, but it's in Satterbrook. Can we direct, through this legal department, direct our DPW workers to clean it and then build the county like we do with certain homeowners or businesses? It's just food for thought. It's nothing crazy. If they haven't done it in so many years, why can't we just clean it and then bill the county for not doing their work? Another one. In the sewer inlets, these work in different municipalities and also in different states. On the sewer inlets, we can put baits along with paraffin, and it works because right now, I believe, even though that I'm not an expert by what I was just reading different states, when the land get disturbed, they try to leave the place where they were living and they exit and go and look for new places or new locations. First and foremost, and I don't want to go into the naysaying, but I believe it was said a lot of things at the last meeting on September 5th, but I believe that we should put more teeth, power, and increase the fines if possible, because it is not fair if some residents are cleaning their homes that some others left theirs dirty for years. How cannot an inspector that we have a building department here in town cannot take them to court? I can even mention right now addresses that have been empty for years and rats are coming out of there. How come we cannot take the law into our own hands? I heard Mr. Attorney to say it on the September 5th that the legal process is complicated and it takes too long, but we should find ways and manners to protect the residents. If I'm doing my job, why should I have to suffer the consequences of my neighbor that is not cleaning? So we should enforce the law, and if possible, if they're not coming to court or paying the fines, why not to put a lien into the property? Then, may I continue or just leave it?
You did a great job.
No more? Thank you very
Good
much.
job. That was
I
very
got more. Maybe next time I will answer more, but then it's something that we should do something about that. Thank you all. Have a good night.
This guy.
Mitchell Rubenstein, 133 Lincoln Avenue. I have a question about how we incorporate flooding considerations into zoning decisions. I say this especially regarding the assisted living facility. It sounds like it's another 8-story building. I'm not necessarily concerned they'll flood. I'm concerned that everything by Saddle River Road will be consumed by more floodwater because so many more people will be, using water, and there will be so much more concrete. So not just about that building, but all zoning decisions.
Through the chair, I can answer that.
Yes, sir.
So presently, there already are statutory requirements that when someone appears before a board for approval for a project of any size, they have to submit a drainage plan. And that drainage plan is reviewed by the engineer for the board, and the plan has to show that there is no increase in water coming off the property that existed before. And in fact, in many cases, they want zero runoff. So that there are already laws on the book, and if you ever go to a zoning or planning board meeting and listen to an application, you'll hear the board, or you'll hear part of the testimony about the drainage plan. The drainage plan is prepared by the applicant, reviewed by the board's engineer. The board engineer may say you have to make some revisions to it, but there is already requirements that have to be satisfied with respect to any development in this community and any community throughout the state of New Jersey.
Motion to close the meeting to the public?
Motion.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Mayor?
Okay, I have a lot. Omar, I want to address you on a couple of things, but I'm going to get to that. Oh, okay, he left, but, all right. I still want to, well, let me just start, but I don't want to forget this. I want to correct him on one thing. When he talked about bait, rodent bait being put in the catch basins, that is illegal now. He's right, 14 years ago when he was on the council, that was something that could be done. But we did check into it, and I don't know if any of the public wants to check. If you go to News 12, West Orange, there was a story about them. They have a rat problem, and that was brought up, and I believe it was the mayor that was speaking, mentioned that they checked with the Department of Environmental Protection, and they're not allowed to put bait traps in the catch basins. The problem with that is the bait, it's poison. That water ends up going to the river and contaminates the river. So that was one thing. Yes, 14 years ago when Councilman Rodriguez was a councilman, that might have been true, but not anymore. But I'll get into further with the rodent, our rodent control program. But right now, I want to start by September is National Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month. So I have a proclamation. Whereas the Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month celebrates and highlights the countless achievements in the Hispanic and the Latino community. The observation began in 1968 and was enacted into federal law on August 17, 1988. Hispanics have enhanced and shaped our national character with old traditions that reflect the multi-ethnic and multicultural customs of their community. So now, therefore, be it resolved on this day, Robert D. White, the mayor of the Township of Saddlebrook, do hereby proclaim September 15th through October 15th, 2024, as National Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month. I encourage our community to join us in celebrating the great contributions Hispanics and Latino Americans have made in our township, state, and our nation. Okay, moving along. I want to start by mentioning the sale of the old town hall and police department. The committee, our committee has met with our town planners on several occasions, and based on our input, the committee's input, the planner is drafting a redevelopment plan. Now, we would like to see, we're trying to push for something that would, like what went across the street at Ed's, okay? A commercial with commercial property, 4 stores. I don't know how many they're gonna be able to fit, but we're looking to put commercial on the bottom and residential on the top. like the old Ed's Tavern, like what's there now. But once a plan is complete, we will bring it before the council to consider for formal adoption. So that's where we're at right now, and I would say over the next few months, we're gonna be moving along, and hopefully getting someone to purchase and develop that property. Okay, the rodent control update. I wanna read the steps that we've taken so far, and some of them were things that were mentioned by Mr. Rodriguez, but they've already been done. Okay, the following is a list of specific steps taken by the township to combat the rodent problem. Number one, the health inspector and property maintenance officer are dispatched to all rodent sightings complaints to investigate and locate the source and potential cause. Number two, a pest control company has been hired by the township to inspect all township properties and treat them if necessary. A staff member, that was number two. Number three, a staff member has been assigned to manage, pinpoint, or track and follow up on all rodent complaints. That was what Mr. Rodriguez was saying about pinpointing the areas. And I do differ. Yeah, he mentioned a couple of districts that I don't believe there are infestations. Additional staff members have been assigned, number four, additional staff members have been assigned to help enforce property maintenance and health regulations. Number five, township ordinances are being reviewed and amended where necessary to address the issue. For instance, adjustments are being made to building permits, garbage collection, and wildlife feeding. Number six, the township collaborates with a dedicated group of residents committed to resolving the problem. The woman was here, Mrs. Theodorian, she left, but she heads that committee. There's six women that I've been communicating with regularly, and they are getting the word out about this and all the notices that we've been putting out. And really, they've been a great help in getting the word out and so that people know and understand what's going on. Number seven, other municipalities facing similar challenges have been contacted to learn about their approaches to the problem and to solve the problem. Number eight, rodent and pest control notices have been posted on the township website and Facebook page to request the public's assistance in mitigating the problem. Regarding this, I do believe, and we had a committee meeting with Mrs. Theodorian and her group before this meeting, and I do believe when she says that there are people that they're not reporting it to the town, so it's difficult to pinpoint. I don't know if they're embarrassed. Please, don't be embarrassed. We really want to know, where the problems are so we can address it. So, but we actually only had, since the time we had that meeting 2 weeks ago, we've had 3 complaints involving rodents. And 2 of them involved actually, well, there was one this week, a dead rat was found. I don't want to say the location, but it was in the north section by the tree streets on the Fairlawn border. It doesn't matter, Spruce Avenue, okay? There was a dead rat in the road, and somebody called, the resident called in front of the house, and we had animal control come and pick up the rodent. We also had, about a week ago, we had a gentleman on Platt Avenue that reported that overnight on his Ring doorbell, I guess he saw some activity. He said he thought, he saw something that looked like it could have been a rat, but it could have been something else as well. He wasn't sure, it was a distance away. So that was the second. And the third one was a resident called on Bella Vista about a property nearby that he felt the backyard was overgrown and there were sheds and possible a haven for rats. That was checked out, and at this point, I don't know what the outcome was. But we had the health department and our building department, our property maintenance, go and take a look at that. So number 9, we also discounts on pest control services, Excel Pest Control that was here 2 weeks ago that did the presentation. They are giving $100 off the initial fee. I believe it's 100. It was, normally it's $295. They're doing it for $195 plus a monthly fee. So they are doing that for us. Okay. Mention that. Okay, I'm done with that part. Okay, the road and update's done. Saddle River County Park update. Tommy Hayes came up and spoke about that. There is going to be a meeting at our next work session with Parks Director Craig Dorsett and some other representatives. So that'll be October 3rd, council work session, starts at 5:30. They're going to discuss the proposed playground. Also, the county has received $1 million in state funding for the pond restoration. That's probably going to be towards flooding concerns. As far as clearing the overgrowth that's along the pond, that is something that Mr. Dorsett said that they would. I mean, I've been 10 years I've been at this trying to get them to cut back, and I always got an answer of oh, they couldn't do it, and because of runoff and other things. But Craig he's a new director, and he seems willing to help us out with that and to cut back a lot of that overgrowth. And as far as routine maintenance goes, they really have been much better. When we call, they do come out for when we get a call with bathrooms aren't working or something like that, or garbage, or they do come out right away. Okay, next topic is road resurfacing, and I want Bob, our engineer, just to give a quick update on what's going on with the road program.
Yes, the road program construction began last week on Lincoln Avenue and Van Worden. The order or the next street hasn't been determined yet because Ash and Elm are PSE&G is planning to work there, so we're coordinating with them to see where they're at. But it is underway and it is moving. I would expect it to take most of the fall to complete.
Thank you. The Garden State Parkway Bridge over Saddle River Road, that work is they're halfway finished with that project, but work is going to start the beginning of October, first weekend in October. It's weather permitting. They need to have a good weekend to get through. There can't be any rain or any wind, any thunderstorms. But it's going to take 2 more weekends to complete. Events that occurred. The town picnic was Saturday, August 24th. I want to thank all our sponsors. There's a big sign that was the sign that was posted on the pavilion. So I want to thank all of them for their generous donations. Thank the police department, the fire department, ambulance corps, DPW, Shannon Accamundo and Christine Accamundo of the Projects and Activities Committee, along with Pete Ladico. Thank you.
I'm not married to Christine.
Oh, did I say Christine? What did I say?
Do you have a daughter?
Wait a minute. Okay, well, Shannon Accamundo and Christine Januario. Okay. What do they say it backwards?
No, you said Christine Accamundo and Shannon Accamundo.
Oh, okay. All right.
They're sisters.
Okay, sorry, I'm reading off the paper too. I guess I can't read my own writing. Also, the second annual Junior Police Academy was August 19th through the 23rd. The graduation ceremony was Friday, August 23rd, and kudos to the police department. They did a fabulous job on that. It's a really, really good program. That was something else that the chief and I were talking about for years, and we finally did get it done. So, and you could take credit for that too, Chief. The 9/11 ceremony was Wednesday, September 11th. It was the 23rd anniversary, and it's important to remember and teach our children, especially the children, the history of 9/11, because all of the kids that are in school now, they don't know, they don't remember, they weren't alive. So we have to make sure that they remember. I want to thank all our first responders, the Saddlebrook Band and Chorus, Lydia Diaz for singing the national anthem. We had the grand reopening of Acme on Friday, September 6th. Congratulations, they did a fabulous job on the renovations. I don't know if anybody's been in there, but it really looks nice. And I want to thank Acme for consistently supporting the township by donating and sponsoring to our events. I want to thank Councilwoman Mazer and Councilman Simaluka for joining me, along with Business Administrator Jimmy Holmesy and Clerk Peter Ludico. Our Lady of Mount Virgin Church held their car show and motorcycle show on Sunday, September 15th, this past Sunday. Congratulations to them on another successful show, and I want to thank them for their generous donation to VFW Post 3484 of Saddlebrook. Upcoming events, the shredding event is Saturday, September 28th in the parking lot here, 55 Mayhill, from 9 to 1. The Unico Street Fair is Sunday, September 29th on Market Street between Westminster and Mayhill. I believe, I'm not sure of the times, I think it's like 10 to 3. I'm not sure, my Unico people, maybe you could. Approximately. Leaf bags are going to be available beginning in October. It's Fire Prevention Week is October 6th through the 12th. Washington School has their 100th anniversary, 5 p.m., Thursday, October 10th. The townwide garage sale is Friday, October 11th through Sunday, October 13th. Town Hall and DPW are closed for Columbus Day / Indigenous Peoples Day. Section 1 grass clippings will be picked up Friday, October 18th. October 15th is the last day to register to vote in the general election. Town Hall will be open until 9 p.m. for paper registration, and leaf bags will also be distributed to residents who want to pick them up. Some miscellaneous things, Community Development Block Grant, our application, I just received a letter from the county executive that our 3rd Street Improvements Project has been approved, and we were awarded $123,000 for that project. And I just want to mention the loss of longtime resident Kay Swanee. Kay was, she was a fixture at St. Philip's, always there, real nice person. She raised, her and her husband Danny raised their 6 children here in Saddlebrook, and she was always a pleasant person and always had a smile, always willing to help. So, you know, my condolences to the Swanee family. And the only other thing I have, and I don't think I forgot anything, is I just want to address Omar, what he mentioned about me having him arrested. Okay, what I did say was, and you know, I didn't really remember it, but what I did say is that I told Council President Accomundo that he did a good job and could have had the police officer remove Omar, but that Todd did the right thing. And what I meant by that was, you know, Omar's behavior was somewhat, it was irate. I mean, but I also felt that Todd exercised good restraint, and it would have been the wrong thing to throw him out. But he could have. I mean, I've seen that happen in other towns. So that's what I meant by it. That was exactly what I said. So, thank you.
Councilman Garrett?
Good evening, everyone. Just want to mention the Township Picnic, and I just want to thank all the volunteers that participated, Mayor's Youth Group, along with Shannon Accomundo, Christine Januario. It was a success. The lines were a little bit longer than we would have liked. I think we'll work on that for next year, but I think everybody had a great time. It was well attended, and I just want to thank everybody that participated in that. I also want to commend our Mayor, Bob White, with this whole rodent issue. I know he's been working diligently for a long time, trying to help our residents, and the council supports him 100%, and I really appreciate his hard work. I'd hate to say sleepless nights at times, but I know you're on top of it, and we trust what you're doing, and we know that you don't take any complaint lightly, and you answer every single complaint that comes to your door. So, Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave.
We're going to have a flood committee meeting on October 22nd. That's a Tuesday. That will be here at 6:30, the municipal complex. So anybody that would like to participate in the flood committee, please come on October 22nd. It's a Tuesday evening at 6:30. All right. That's all I have for now. Thank you very much.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Hi. Yes, I too would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone that made our picnic a success. Every year, we try to tweak it a little bit or change things around, but again, once, it would not be possible with all our township employees and all our volunteers, and of course, the donations from our businesses and residents. Once again, thank you to everyone. That's it right now.
Andrew?
Okay. The mayor, two council people had mentioned about the picnic, and although it was a great success, with success, there's always a little bit of things that can be tweaked. And certainly, we have heard complaints about the lines. They were very, very long. I believe that the vendors are told approximately how many people are expected to attend, and I would think, now I'm not in the food business, but I would think that if you know or you're told how many people are going to attend, expected to attend, that you would kind of like par cook sausage and peppers, you would par cook a burger or something like that. So this way, when people come there, it just takes a shorter period of time. Now, in their, I guess, to their credit, I guess, they gave everyone fresh food. So that's why it took so long, because everything was being cooked from scratch. So when you ordered a sausage sandwich, they said, okay, 2 sausage sandwiches, and they put it on the grill. I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it, but we know where the problem lies, and we are trying to address it. So to those who waited in line a long time for your food, we apologize, but we hope you finally enjoyed it, because not many people got off the line, to be honest with you. They waited. Whoever didn't come to the concert series missed out. We had 4 great concerts. We had 2 local bands, they were awesome. We had an Elton John cover band, and we had 80s Explosion, and they put on quite a show. Unfortunately, I was disappointed, honestly, about how many people showed up. Perhaps it's on us. We've got to do a better job of getting the word out there. So once next year, and I hope we're going to do it again, I think we will, when you hear about these concerts, spread the word. I'd like to see a bunch of people there, a lot more. We see other towns, they get a whole bunch of people. It may, and I think one of the issues is our parking lot is so huge that it looks like everyone's spaced out, so it doesn't look like there's a lot of people. So maybe that's just in my own head, that there's not enough people there. I'd like to see some more people there. So get it out, spread the word, and help out, because it's a great community event. Car show was this weekend. That was great, and Mount Virgin put on a good show as always. With Council President's permission, I've got a question about one of the resolutions that are on tonight, and it's for handicap parking. And I'm wondering if I could address a question to Officer in Charge, Captain Zotolo.
Oh, you want to answer it?
Captain, could you, I got a question for you. I think you might have to go to the, so this way everyone could hear it.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
He could handle it.
We'll put you on the handicap spot.
Okay. Captain, on the resolution table is a permission for a handicap spot on a certain street. Now, that street is a small street. It's doesn't have a lot of parking on it. It's a very narrow street. Now, is there a consideration taken in when you are going through the application as to whether that person has a driveway or not? Because I don't know, if the person has a driveway, I'm not sure of the reason that in an area that might not have a lot of parking, that we are just designated, we are taking away parking for the public and just giving it to that person. And I know from other areas in town where I see the person having a handicap space in front of their house, and no one has ever parked there because they're parked in the driveway. I'm just wondering, is that one of the considerations? I know that you have criteria to
Yeah, no,
ask
it is
us
one of the
to give it.
considerations. What we like to do is have our traffic unit go respond to each location where we have an application like that to see the type of roadway, the type of parking situation. And there has been some that we've denied for certain reasons with parking or traffic flow or something that might create a hardship for others. So I'm not sure the specific one you're speaking of, but we do, most of the time, do the research and get our traffic unit to go out there. 2 of our officers are in the traffic unit to go out there and assess and review that application to make sure it's not creating a hardship for others. And then that gets funneled to me and, and recommended one way or the other.
Thank you. I just didn't know the criteria, so that's great to hear.
Yeah, through the chair, Mr. Stamaluka, I think on that one, because I questioned the same thing, because I think they only have 1 car, but their driveway is very narrow. And what they're saying is they can't maneuver the wheelchair because of the I guess the size.
Okay.
They don't have enough room on either side to, that's the way I understand it.
Okay. Thank you, Captain. With the proposed sale or the redevelopment of the rehabilitation, is it redevelopment, John?
It's a rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation.
But it is referred to as a redevelopment plan, but it's a rehabilitation.
Right. So some people are asking, what do you do with the monuments? My understanding is that the police monument is going to be relocated in front of the police department, and that the World War II monument is going to be relocated to the VFW. And I think those are great places to have it. I believe the police department wants it there, and I believe the VFW wants that memorial there. So that solves some of the questions that we had. What do we do with these monuments if we don't own that property? It would be, honestly, in my opinion, silly to have them here. Not many people would see them. Getting back to the rats, somebody had said at the meeting about flushing the sewers, and I did a little research on that, and they do not recommend flushing the sewers because all it does is it moves the rats from one place to another. It just displaces them to areas that they weren't before. So if they're concentrated in one area, now you're flooding them and pushing them out to 2 or 3 separate areas. So that's not a good idea. I think one of the things that came out at the last meeting was the idea of kind of neutering or, Mayor, did you ever, talk to that person?
I think Jimmy Holmes, I think you spoke to, because that was in Tenafly, right? The
Yeah, they
neutering?
were contracted in Tenafly while I was there. I didn't have much dealings or interactions because it was primarily held by a councilwoman and committee, but we could reach out to her. The mayor and I spoke earlier, and he wanted to reach out to get more information.
For those of you who weren't here or didn't watch it, there is some plan that she had mentioned had worked well in, I think it was Tenafly, in which they feed them. They don't kill the rats, but what they do is kind of neuter them. It's like a chemical castration type of thing where they eat the food or they eat the bait, and they can't reproduce, which, obviously that's a problem with rats. I know that somebody had said that one rat, can become 10,000 rats in, a matter of months. I think you can't discount the fact that not every rat that's born survives. I mean, they eat their own, other animals eat them, birds feast on them, and just some of them just die. So I think that might have been an overreaction that we were going to have, tens of thousands of rats. One rat is going to generate this thing. Now, they do generate, but not everyone survives. So we've got to do our job to keep it under control. And on my own, I contacted officials and people in some high positions in a couple of towns, actually 4 towns around us. And it seems like this, I forget what point number you got up to, 10 or 11, we're doing a heck of a lot more than most of the towns that have had these rat issues. Almost everyone said, well, we tell people to keep their property clean. And that's pretty much the extent of it. So, we do have a comprehensive plan of action on this, in opposition to what some people may think, but we are on it, and we are trying to take care of the problem. It is a problem, and hopefully, we will, with all of these different ideas that have come up, and certainly if somebody else has an idea, people come to the council and have ideas. We're certainly not going to not accept them or not listen to them just because of who the person is. I mean, we're all in this together. So if there is a problem, we need to fix it together. I thank you very much.
Unfortunately, I did miss the car show, and I was part of the whole process, I think, since last year, but for some reason, not for some reason, I just needed to get away, so I went away last week and missed the car show. But I did hear it was a great success. They do a wonderful job every year, no matter where they do it. I do want to thank the people for coming out and attending that rodent meeting, because especially for Mr., I don't remember Jimmy's last name, but it was Jim. Jim Hayes?
Regarding the parks?
Regarding the problem he had at his house, videoing him, was that Jim Hayes?
No, that's Mr. Escudo. I don't know his first name. It is Jim. It's Jim Escudo.
I want to thank him for bringing it to our attention, because if you follow everything that goes on social media, we'd have 3, 4, 5 meetings a day regarding stuff that goes on in town that doesn't actually happen in town, because people just sometimes make stuff up on social media. But if it wasn't for him bringing it to our attention and bringing light to it, we wouldn't know what to do. And giving us ideas of what he was doing for the past month, I think it was a month or so, of baiting them, trapping them, and then advising us maybe having a meeting. And I think that was a good thing, because we didn't know what to do. I'm not an exterminator. I get mice in my house every year because the lady next door to me feeds the wildlife, French fries, bread, birdseed. I don't want to be that guy and say, hey, listen, stop feeding, because that's probably all she has. So I don't want to be that guy to say, hey, stop feeding the wildlife. I'll trap a few mice, get rid of them. It's not a problem. But the solutions that we got out of that meeting I thought were pretty good. Were definitely something we couldn't have thought of. And to Omar's comment, I do agree with him for a map of infestation, to figure out where they're going, how long they've been there, when they get removed from the area. And I do like that idea. I think it's a great idea. I think it's something we should probably implement with the county. As far as the DPW going to County Park, listen, I've worked with our DPW. They have a workload at that. They could barely finish amongst themselves. They're all hardworking guys. You can't just have someone go into a park, a county park, and do work. Maybe if we could have like a shared service or something like that, maybe. But like I said, our guys have a workload as it is. I don't think they could handle going to the park once, twice a week, once a month. So that's something we just have to get on the county more to, put their fire to their feet to do more for the residents, not only of the county, but like you said, that's a Saddlebrook Park. You don't ever call it County Park, you call it Saddlebrook Park. So I think it's definitely something we should address and make sure that gets taken care of in the near future. We had the September 11th ceremony. It was very well attended. It was nice. It was, unfortunately, the RAP meeting was more attended to than a September 11th ceremony. And I thought that was, honestly, I thought it was sickening, because it's just, and not that the RAP problem is not an issue. It is an issue, but I don't know. I think that never forget is slowly diminishing for a lot of people. And I don't think we should ever forget that day. Trunk or Treat is October 26th. If you want to volunteer, I think if you go on the township website, you can volunteer. Every year, that just gets better and better. It's great for the kids in town to meet other kids, for parents to meet other parents. It's a good get-together event. And the mayor brought up the youth academy for the police department. I would like to ask Chief Milnicki, you guys ever think about doing a youth academy for the fire department? To try and get kids interested, because you are a volunteer, to get kids interested in the near future? You have, okay. I would love to see that come to fruition.
It's something that we had talked about doing during our firefighting week. Since we are volunteers, we wouldn't be able to do it during the day like the police department can do. But we had talked about doing something maybe over the weekend or in the evening.
Okay. All right. And, I think that's it. And again, congratulations, Chief. If you want, we'll take like a 2-minute break, so if nobody wants to listen to us anymore, if you were here for Chief's retirement goodbye, we don't want to bore you with nonsense, or if you want to stay, you're more than welcome to stay, but we'll take a 2-minute break. If you want to leave, you're more than happy to leave.
Councilman Simuluka? Here. Councilman Garrick?
Here.
Councilman Mazur? Here. Council President Accomando?
Here.
Everyone's present?
Yes, sir.
Ordinances. Ordinance 1756-24 is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 106, handicap parking, of the Code of the Township of Saddlebrook to provide for a handicap parking space in front of a residence on Bella Vista Avenue. Second reading.
Motion.
Motion.
Roll call.
Councilman Simuluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Council President Accomando?
Yes.
An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 106, handicap parking, of the Code of the Township of Saddlebrook to provide for a handicap parking space in front of a residence on Bella Vista Avenue.
Motion open to the public?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance only?
Motion to close to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook that the ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 106, handicap parking of the Code of the Township of Saddlebrook to provide for a handicap parking space in front of a residence on Bella Vista Avenue does now pass on second and final reading, and that the Township Clerk be directed to advertise said ordinance or title thereof in the press, together with the notice of the date of passage of said ordinance according to law.
Motion to pass.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ordinance first reading, ordinance 1757-24. Is an ordinance authorizing a special emergency appropriation per NJSA 48:4-53 for the purpose of updating tax maps for first reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now therefore be resolved by the Township Council that an ordinance authorizing a special emergency appropriation pursuant to NJSA 48:4-53, heretofore passed on first reading, be further considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on October 17th, 2024, at 7:00 p.m., or sooner after as the matter can be reached at the Municipal Complex, 55 Mayhill Street, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance according to law, with the notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Motion to pass.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Simuluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Council President Accomando?
Yes.
Next ordinance, ordinance for first reading, ordinance 1758-24, a bond ordinance to authorize the making of various public improvements and the acquisition of new additional or replacement equipment and machinery, new communication and signal systems equipment, and new automotive vehicles, and a new fire engine, including original apparatus and equipment, in by and for the Township of Saddlebrook and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $2,545,300 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds for first reading.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Simuluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Council President Accomando?
Yes.
Now therefore be resolved by the Township Council that a bond ordinance to authorize the making of various public improvements and the acquisition of new additional replacement equipment and machinery, new communication and signal systems equipment, and a new automotive vehicles, and a new fire engine, including original apparatus and equipment, in by and for the Township of Saddlebrook, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $2,545,300 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, heretofore passed on first reading, be further considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on October 17th, 2024, at 7:00 p.m., or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the municipal complex, 55 Mayhill Street, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance according to law, with the notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, of a time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Motion?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Simaluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Council President Accomando.
Yes.
First reading, ordinance 1759-24, an ordinance to amend Chapter 100 entitled Garbage Collection of the Township Code of the Township of Saddlebrook, State of New Jersey, be passed and adopted on first reading.
Motion?
Motion?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Simaluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Council President Accomando.
Yes.
Now therefore be resolved by the Township Council that an ordinance to amend Chapter 100 entitled Garbage Collection of the Township Code of the Township of Saddlebrook, State of New Jersey, heretofore passed on first reading, be further considered for a final passage at a meeting to be held on October 17, 2024, at 7:00 p.m., or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the municipal complex, 55 Mayhill Street, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance according to law, with the notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of a time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Motion?
Second.
Councilman Simaluka?
Just through the chair, I just had a comment. We understand that one of the main things that this town is trying to do, along with our surrounding towns, is to try and stop, it's a property maintenance issue, to try and stop garbage from being out there in bags, which can be eaten through. This ordinance would require all trash to be placed in containers, plastic containers, and have a cover. Now, we know that for some people, this is going to be a great thing, and they're going to commend us. But there's going to be a number of other people that say, why do I have to now, after living here for 40 years, have to now buy a garbage pail or buy a cover? So everything we do, we're not going to make everybody completely happy, but this is my understanding from the experts, is that this is one of the simplest ways to stop the proliferation of the vermin problem. So I vote yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Council President Accomando.
Yes.
That completes
Do
ordinances.
do we open that to the public or no?
What's that?
Do we open this to the public? or-
No.
No?
Only second readings.
Second reading.
All items listed with an asterisk are considered routine and non-controversial by the Township Council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member or member so requested, in which case the item or items will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. The one motion signifies adoption of all resolutions, receive and file letters, correspondence reports, and approval of minutes and applications. Not part of the consent agenda is the August 15th, 2024 minutes.
Motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We have the minutes of the August 15th, 2024 council public meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Nope. You got a roll.
Oh, sorry, roll call.
Councilman Simaluka?
Yes.
Councilman Garrick?
Abstain?
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Council President Accomando.
Yes.
New business?
New business?
Under new business, Mr. Chairman, we have a resolution, the approval of the cannabis license application for Mom, New Jersey, doing business as Megan's Organic Market.
Motion?
Motion?
Roll call?
I have a question on this. Could you, this is just their application to get the license? This is not approval of their license?
No, this is, Moms has, through the chair, Moms has completed the entire process, and this is to actually issue the license. This is the last step for them, and they're going to be then ready to operate.
Okay,
Did they, I'm sorry, did they start the build-out yet?
I don't really know the building status. I just know that, again, they
I'd love to see it.
fulfilled a very long and lengthy process,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this is the final step for them. As to the status of the building, I just got, actually, we asked for a status report from all the,
Yes.
and we just got theirs today, but I didn't get it. In fact, I probably was sent that email to everybody late today.
Okay.
So that should actually tell us, they did get the approval from the board. I don't know if they,
No, I'd like to see one, because I don't, are any of them ready yet? I'd like to
as
see
to
the
whether the
inside.
facility, I don't know the status of the construction, but it may be in the report that they sent
Okay.
today. And they will be appearing at our next committee meeting, which will be before the work session on
Okay.
October 3rd.
Thank you.
Scatino, I've got a question. We've heard from people in the audience, and we've discussed it, about conditions that we put on someone's ability to operate within our town in terms of security that they have to have, the filtration system, hours of operations, and things of that nature. I don't recall ever imposing any conditions or discussing any conditions.
No, those are all state requirements. In fact, the state would supersede on that, and they are extremely rigid and strict. So the municipalities that allow these cannabis businesses are very well protected. In fact, I don't think I'm saying anything that's inaccurate. Those facilities, in terms of the security, are safer than banks. That's how, they're required at their own cost and expense to have the personnel. Everybody gets ID'd coming in, they get ID'd going out. It's a very, very strictly controlled business by the state of New Jersey, and their regulations, as I said, are imposed by the state legislature. The only thing that we are involved in is just processing through the application. And the state actually even monitors whether they're in compliance. They won't be able to even open until their facility is fully compliant with all the issues that you just mentioned.
But in terms of hours of operation, doesn't the town get a say in that?
Hours of operation is whatever your ordinance provides. So if your ordinance restricts businesses from whatever, some towns allow 24 hours, some towns do not allow 24 hours. So whatever your ordinance requires, they have to comply with.
For cannabis only, or for just
For every
general
business. The town doesn't have a right to treat them differently than other businesses because they're a legal business. So whatever you require for any commercial business in your community, they have to comply with. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but whatever your ordinance requires, they have to comply with.
I just have just one thing, like, what's going on now with the cannabis community is they're getting these licenses, they're starting a business, and they're selling. Can we as a township refuse a business owner? Because, like, say we vetted all these 4 companies that are here, cannabis facilities are here. We spoke to them individually. Out of, I don't know, 40, 50 people maybe, to allow them to come to the township of Saddlebrook.
Well,
So now, what gives them the right to sell their license to somebody else to just come here without being vetted?
Well, it would have to be transferred, and I would think it's going to be similar to a liquor license. I
We
mean,
refuse it as a township?
you just can't refuse for any reason. You have to have a basis to refuse. And again, if they comply with the state requirements, the municipality would have no basis to deny the
Yeah.
transfer of the license or the sale.
Okay.
You know, regarding the times of operation and the days that they operate, I know at the planning board that we did put conditions on that at the planning board as part of giving them their site plan approval. So, and I know moms came before us not too long ago. And and New Jersey patient care as well.
I believe the stipulation with moms was they were going to be closed on Sunday.
Right.
And that's in a site plan approval?
Yes.
Yeah, I just haven't seen it, so.
Yeah, Pete, what's, what are the hours of operation? We do have an ordinance about commercial.
So off the top of my head, we did years ago, it was at the request of the service station owners, and we restricted them that they had to close by 12 midnight. That was at their request. I'm not sure if we have anything else. We have, other stores are open 24/7.
Well, you have convenience stores that are open 24/7.
I don't believe we have anything else restricting businesses.
Mayor, do you know if that site plan approval also included hours of operation?
I believe it did, yeah. I believe it did. We made it more restrictive.
Yes. I believe it was in the area of a 9 to 9 timeframe. I'm not positive, so, don't hold me to that, but I believe it was like 9 to 9.
I think you're right.
We have a motion and a second.
Motion to second.
Motion?
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
I'm going to abstain, not because I'm against moms or I'm against this application, but I don't know, I haven't seen the application, and shame on me for not doing a little more research. This is going to come back next month next month for a second reading. At that time, I'll have an opportunity to look at that site plan approval and see, because.
It's a resolution.
Yeah, it is.
It's a
I'm
resolution.
sorry.
It's not gonna-
I'm sorry. I'm going to abstain. I don't have enough information.
Councilman Garrick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Council President Arcomando?
Yes.
Resolution passed.
Meeting is open to the public for agenda items only. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak on agenda items only?
Sylvia Zattarelli, 236 Lanza Ave. Since the ordinance is on the agenda, I can speak about it. The trash removal one. If we have plastic trash cans with lids, is that exempt from this ordinance or included in the ordinance?
That's what we want.
That's what we want, yeah.
Plastic or metal?
Well, no,
It's not plastic.
It could be either or.
It could be either or.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
my question. Thank you.
Welcome.
It's funny because when I talked to the business administrator in Elmwood Park when they were revising this, and that's one of the things that they did also, theirs go back and it requires that it be in tin or aluminum cans. And I said, it's a long time. It was an old ordinance.
Good evening, Janae Ferguson, 321 8th Street. I have a question about the ordinance 1759-24. I've already brought my trash cans with lids, so I'm not concerned about whether it passes or not. But I wanted to know if the council have considered buying trash cans in bulk to sell to the township.
Jimmy, you want to handle that?
Yeah, we did receive, I did ask and receive a quote from a vendor that deals with municipalities, and because they deal with towns that implement either recycling or a trash program. Those are usually with automated machines, so they deal in this capacity. So I asked them for a quote. They sent me a quote for about 850 cans, 64-gallon plastic with wheels, and the price difference was between that and just the similar size at Home Depot was about $30. So, obviously $30 is $30, but there wasn't a significant price gap. I mentioned it to the mayor, and if that's something the council wishes to look into, we could discuss further, but, that's, that's something financially that they would have to, discuss to figure if they want to implement such a program to assist the residents.
Yeah, through the chair, $30 isn't too bad. It's not too bad. I know a lot of people that
Especially
might take
since
advantage
everyone's
of
got
that.
to get 2 or 3,
I don't know if you went to the Home Depot in Clifton or in Hackensack, but the one I purchased was over 30. It was.
No, I'm sorry. I'll rephrase. I apologize. I'm saying the difference in price.
Okay, so it was a $30 difference?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
it was a
'cause
difference of
I
$30 in
spent like
price.
$50
Yeah.
on one can.
Yeah. And I looked, again, this was the retail price at Home Depot for that one was like $80 to $90, 64 gallon, with attached lid, wheeled and everything. So the price difference was a little under $30, just the price difference at a bulk rate.
I think that would be worth investing in for an ordinance that may pass soon, so, thank you.
I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think we should put this on the agenda as an item for discussion for our next work session. You got the quote for $850?
Yeah. I got 64 gallon can and 95 gallon can, which is big, but yeah.
Would they be able to give you a quote for like 500? I mean, we don't want to be stuck with 300 cans.
I picked that number just as a high number, just to get an approximate rate. We could revise it to however many cans we want, and then that also includes assembly and delivery.
Okay.
All right. Motion to close the meeting to the public on agenda items?
Motion.
All in favor?
All right.
Anyone have any comments? Council? John? Bob? All right.
May I? Okay, one thing that was brought up at the last meeting, somebody mentioned that it was kind of a sales pitch from the people that were here, Excel Pest Control. They are our contracted pest control company, so it's not that we brought them in to make money. Actually, what one of the representatives had said, that the initial evaluation and inspection cost $189. What he failed to mention is that if you were in another town or you just called out of the blue, it would be $289. So they are giving a $100 discount to Saddlebrook residents, and they will work, and Mayor?
Mayor?
Okay. Excel is working with our residents in terms of pricing for the pest control?
Yeah, they are. They're giving that discount. I mentioned, that was one of the items that I mentioned.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right.